You're watching the Basketball Hall of Fame Shootout presented by Hotels.com. From Charlotte, North Carolina, it's an Atlantic 10 ACC matchup. The Richmond Spiders take on the Wolfpack of NC State. We welcome you inside the Spectrum Center, the home of the Charlotte Hornets. Robert Lee and Dan Bonner with you. Tonight we get a look at NC State super sophomore Darian Sebron. He has exploded onto the scene. Certainly one of the breakout players, not only in the ACC, but in the country. At 6'7", 180 pounds, this is a young man who leads the North Carolina State Wolfpack in scoring, one of the top scorers in the ACC, and he only has made one three-point basket all year. He's a great slasher. He's great in transition. So far, nobody's been able to stop him. He is a load to try to deal with. He leads the ACC with 6 double-doubles in 10 games this season. Look at the improvement from last year. 5 points, basically quadrupling his scoring and averaging a double-double. And it really says something about this young fella, because last year he was playing behind Devin Daniels, a veteran, the leading scorer for North Carolina State, and he really started to come on last year in the end of January after Devin Daniels got hurt. So this is a great story. A hard worker, a smart player, a soft-spoken kind of kid, but boy, when he gets the ball and starts to the basket, he's hard to contain. As you mentioned, he has only one three-pointer made this season. Kevin Keatts is the head coach of North Carolina State. In his 5th season, 86 and 50, 8th season overall, 3 very successful years at UNC Wilmington. No soft foe tonight, though, in Richmond, led by head coach Chris Mooney. Richmond comes in 6-4. They've won 3 in a row, yet to start Atlantic 10 play, but Chris Mooney in the middle of that huddle, the all-time winningest coach at the University of Richmond. 17th season, 294 and 235. 10 winning seasons in his first 16 years. And he's got 6 players on his team who elected to come back and use their extra COVID year. And so he's got a very experienced team, 15 of his top 16 guys. We watched them at shoot-around today, and it's like they were like a football team. There were so many guys there. They have 20 players on the roster. 19 of them are here tonight. And as you said, they have a host of players, 4,000-point scorers who returned for their extra year. One of them is right there, Grant Golden, Jacob Gilliard, another. And we're set to go. NC State in the white jerseys and Richmond in the road blue. Our referees tonight, Jamie Lucky, Mike Roberts, and Tim Clockerty. And we are underway. NC State 7-3 on the year, coming off a hard-fought loss in overtime against Purdue, the #1 team in the country. At the time that game was played in Brooklyn. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup. It's brought to you by Hotels.com. Darian Sebron, the player we highlighted, as a block by Richmond defensively. Jericho Helms, a 4-year player for NC State as well. And of course, Richmond is one of those teams that don't really play with a post guy. They spread things out and they like to create space. And that's a great job by Dewana from North Carolina State. They lost Manny Bates to the Wolfpack, as you get a look at the Richmond starting lineup. But they lost Manny Bates to the Wolfpack. And over the last few games, Dewana has really done a nice job filling that shot blocking role. He's not Manny Bates, right? But he can block shots. Who is? Richmond with a veteran starting lineup. Jacob Gilliard, #0, is the NCAA's all-time leader in steals Division I. He just set that record 2 games ago. He'll shoot a 3. And rebounded by Terquavion Smith, the 2-time reigning ACC Rookie of the Week. And he's really blossomed as well. Sebron to the rim. Lost it on the way up, rebounded by Golden. Oh, and a late foul call? I think they called Gilliard. It was a foul against Richmond. No. It was a foul against North Carolina State. Well, they got Terquavion Smith, I think. Oh, delay of game warning. He touched the ball. Okay. Running to the rim and laying it up, but off the mark. It was Tyler Burton. Ball dug out by Dewana. I think Burton expected more pressure than he got. Quick fire 3 in transition. It's up and in for Cam Hayes. And that's something that Chris Mooney's very concerned about, the Wolfpack's ability to play in transition. And Coach Mooney told us this morning he wasn't sure whether or not NC State was going to press. It's in their DNA generally.
Well, it is in their DNA, but you got to be careful when you try to press a veteran team like Richmond. They get 41% of their offense from beyond the three-point arc. And if you're going to press and try to steal the ball, you're going to create some open threes.
KO lays it up and in for Richmond's first points of the game. KO averages 7 a game.
KO is strictly an inside guy. He is not a three-point shooter, but he's very effective around the basket.
Three-pointer is up and in again for the Wolfpack. Jericho Helms, who is a team-best 39% three-point shooter.
On a team that shoots only 30% from beyond the arc, so that, unlike the Spiders, that's not the biggest part of their game, but you leave Helms wide open, he's going to knock it down.
No, he's got both hands on it.
That was actually a two-point shot. A two-point shot for Helms. So it's 5-2.
Well, that destroys the whole explanation.
He is still a very good three-point shooter. We're not going to deny that. Honorable mention all ACC last year. Golden one-handed, kind of a one-timer as he lifts it up and in.
That was a great play. I think that's the only way he can score that basket, because if he tries to bring it down with two hands, Dewana is in great defensive position. But again, Golden, you mentioned, 1,000-point scorer, one of those veteran guys.
Sebron to the rim, lays it up and in with the left hand.
And that's what we're talking about with Sebron. He just takes the ball to the basket. He's very dangerous in transition, but even in the half court when he goes, I haven't seen anybody really get in his way and stop him.
The presence of Dewana, not bothered by it. Grant Golden, another bucket.
What a great use of the pivot foot inside.
Golden, a sixth-year grad student from Winchester, Virginia, averaging 15.5 points a game. And is a four-time All-Atlantic 10 selection. The jumper is long, it's rebounded. Oh, dug out by NC State, and they flip it in. They stole it from Golden. Sebron again.
Sebron is very active, very aggressive. North Carolina State, they will get out and pressure you in the man-to-man defense. They're not one of those pack line teams.
You mentioned the contrast in styles as Golden a chance for three. 3 consecutive buckets for Grant Golden.
Well, the Spiders, they don't actually play slowly. They like to get up and down, but they spread the court, and a guy like Golden is key to, if you want to play this way. He plays the way Chris Mooney did when Chris Mooney was at Princeton, and look at those numbers.
The assists, he's 6'10", he averages 4 assists a game.
He can shoot the three, and his passing, though, as you mentioned, is critical to this offense.
And he has scored 7 consecutive points for Richmond to tie the game at 9. Richmond's made 4 shots in a row.
Now here's the Spiders with a little pressure. This might just be to slow him down a little bit, prevent Sebron from setting sail.
Sebron leads the team in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. So he is really a do-it-all player as Hayes pulls up. Long rebound tracked down by Isaiah Wilson, a sophomore.
Wilson is noted more for his defense. There's the passing we're talking about, and that's the way Richmond plays. You spread the court. It's like the old Princeton thing, the back door. It's a cliche anymore, a Princeton offense. All that means is you spread the court.
As we mentioned, Chris Mooney intimately aware with that offense, a 94 grad of Princeton, a 4-year starter, scored almost 1,100 points.
Well, he did a great job in the post, and that's what he did. He passed the ball and made jump shots from out near the top of the key.
Sebron lost it. They kick it out for a top of the key 3. It's good. Cam Hayes.
And Hayes is a guy who has not shot the 3 very well coming in, but he's already knocked down a couple of them, 23% coming in.
Had a good game against Purdue, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Has increased the scoring by about 4 points a game this year, up to 12 a game this season. Rolls off. Wolfpack on the run. Nice pass to Dewana. Lays it up and in.
Now, of course, you're not going to make any shot, but if you're KO and you miss one like that, you're going to let the other guys get out and go, and they're KO. He fell down and never got to the offensive end, so they were able to find him all alone.
It was actually Jalen Gibson at the other end who scored his first 2 of the game for the Wolfpack. as a foul will send Helms to the line after a timeout. Back and forth action here. High scoring start. 14-13, NC State leads Richmond. We're back to Charlotte after this. ACC Network Basketball is brought to you by Nissan. We're back here on a beautiful night in Charlotte, North Carolina. It is NC State off to the early lead against Richmond. Robert Lee and Dan Bonner with you. Beautiful day in Charlotte today. Temperatures in the mid-70s, a record high, and a terrific day of basketball here inside. This is the third of fourth games, 3 ACC teams in action.
And this game has started out as a very competitive, very exciting game. The teams are getting up and down. Everybody's able to score. This could be fun.
Yeah, frantic end-to-end action. In the nightcap, it'll be Wake Forest taking on the local team, Charlotte. And this game on paper, NC State and Richmond, again, games are played on paper, looks to be probably the best matchup of the four. Both teams kind of on the fringe of early bracketology so far. Liberty beat East Carolina by 10 in the opener, and then it was St. Bonaventure just getting run off the court by Virginia Tech. A 37-point win for Virginia Tech over a very highly thought of team in St. Bonaventure. In fact, the preseason pick to win the Atlantic 10, Richmond was picked second, but a big-time performance by the Hokies.
And according to our friend Joe Lenardi and his latest bracketology, St. Bonaventure was one of the teams in the NCAA tournament, and Virginia Tech was, not even on the bubble. They were among the next four out. So, of course, it's December the 17th, and so the tournament's not going to get picked now, but that is a big win for Virginia Tech.
KO has gotten off to a quick start. He's got 6 points. Certainly a long way to go before Selection Sunday, but these teams trying to put another good non-conference win on the resume in case they're on that at-large bubble. A win over a team like North Carolina State or Richmond will look favorably come March. As the left corner three is up and good for Darion Sebron. It's only his second three-pointer of the season.
I think if you're Richmond and Darion Sebron is going to be content to shoot that until he makes a couple, you let him do it. Coming in, we said he was 1 for 16, and coming in, that's .063, which is not a very good percentage. Doesn't mean he can't do it, it's just that he hasn't done it well so far.
And give the young man credit for not forcing up a lot of threes when it hasn't been falling for him.
Both teams going to their bench.
From the right corner. Rebound, tap back out, and Gilliard the three. Richmond off the mark a couple of times. Cam Hayes the rebound.
Well, they will let it fly from out there. They haven't made a three yet.
He is hot. Cam Hayes, 3 3-pointers.
It's interesting, the team that comes in as you'd say, well, they're not a really good three-point shooting team. They've made 4 threes already, and Richmond, as we mentioned, they get more than 40% of their offense from beyond the arc. They haven't made one yet.
Cam Hayes has 3 of those trifectas and a 6-0 run to open up the biggest lead of the game for the Wolfpack. Taking it in and banking it in was Matt Grace, a senior who averages 4 points a game.
Richmond, again, they've got a lot of veteran guys, and they know their roles, and his role is to come in and spell Grant Golden.
High-scoring start to this game. Richmond's got 17 points in almost 8 minutes, and they're down by 6. Both teams happy with the offense. What can improve defensively? Just a lot of shot making so far.
Well, there's a lot of shot making, and Richmond's game plan probably wasn't, they weren't all that concerned about North Carolina State's three-point shooting, and that's where North Carolina State has really burned them so far.
NC State only averages 7 three-pointers a game. Richmond, on the other hand, averages 10. Down to 7 on the shot clock, just inside the arc, banking it in. It's Tyler Burton, the team's leading scorer at 18 points a game.
And he's really a good shooter. Most of his shots don't bank in from straight on, but he is a very good shooter.
He's also the team's leading rebounder, 6.5 a game. Almost a turnover. Instead, it will be a missed layup. Rebound tapped out. Spiders on the run, 3-on-2. Up and in, no foul called. Count the basket.
And you're going to get a flop warning here.
Smith called for the flop warning as the Spiders running the floor.
Well, again, Richmond is not a team that plays slowly. They like to get out and go, and Smith just didn't get in position.
6-0 run for the Spiders. Afternoon's women's college basketball doubleheader at 2 Eastern. Virginia Tech center Elizabeth Kitley leads the Hokies against Florida State in their balanced attack. Then Alyssa Cunane and number 2 NC State host Virginia at Reynolds Coliseum. Both games are right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. NC State has the second-ranked women's team, although they did lose in overtime last night to number 17 Georgia. Excellent season so far for the Wolfpack on the women's side. Here, the men's team has started shooting 5 out of 5 from three-point range to start the game. Richmond 0 for 3, but Richmond is 10 out of 13 from two-point range.
And that's the difference. Those three-pointers are the difference in the game so far.
Here's Casey Morcell, had the ball momentarily. Jaquavion Smith had a huge game against Purdue. Off the mark, rebounded by Golden. Smith 21 points against Purdue in that overtime loss in Brooklyn.
Richmond wants to move the ball from side to side, force the defense to react. Golden doesn't spend a lot of time in the low post, so there's a lot of room in there.
A little bit too strong with that pass. NC State running out Helms. And chopped away and a foul.
That's a tough break right there for Richmond because it looked like Golden had a pretty good opportunity there. When you let NC State get out like this. And Gilliard picks up that foul, and Gilliard is the all-time steals leader in Division I history. So you got to be careful when he's around.
Another foul will send NC State to the line. It's interesting, I think they called that foul on Bailey, but like you, I thought it was clearly on Gilliard. Number 0 clearly hacked at him, but they called the foul on Bailey, who also picked up that foul. He's got 2 now.
No, he's not going to be happy about that.
No, he goes to the bench now. As Nick Sherrod is back in along with Isaiah Wilson. You talked about Gilliard. He broke the Division I all-time steals record. 391 steals. He's also the school's all-time leader in assists, top 10 in conference history, and he should take over the all-time lead in three-pointers as well in the next couple of games. He is a fifth-year grad student from Kansas City.
When you keep saying that, fifth-year grad student, and you can't emphasize that point enough. This is a veteran Richmond team. It was one of the reasons why they were picked number 2 in the A-10.
NC State with the rebound of the miss. Morcell out of control and a foul. They get caught on Sherrod, it's his first. Richmond comes in 6-4. They have won 3 in a row, but they've been right there. They've lost on a neutral court against Utah State, against Maryland and Mississippi State in the Bahamas. They lost at Drake, the preseason pick in the Valley.
Playing at Drake is not an easy thing, and that's what Chris Mooney told us. They've been close, but that doesn't really count anything. You got to win the games, and Sherrod that time picked up that foul because he actually dropped his arms trying to swipe at the ball. I thought he was in pretty good position. If he just stands there, he probably takes the charge.
One pattern Richmond's gotten into this year is falling way behind in games. They've actually had 3 comeback wins where they were down by 14 points or more, including their last game against Toledo. They were down 19 in the second half, came back to win. Much better start for the Spiders today.
That's a stat that, so you're glad to hear that, but you're also
You'd rather not be in that situation.
Yeah, not very happy that you fall behind so far so often.
Morcell misses both free throws. Golden the rebound. This is Gilliard, number 0. Underneath, the layup's up and in for KO, who's got a team-high 8 points.
Teo's down inside. He's got two guards there, so he did a really nice job collecting himself without putting the ball on the deck. And then I thought he was going to take too much time and give Duana a chance to come and swat it, but he got it up just in time.
Teo's already exceeded his season average with those 8 points. Morcell, difficult long two, rebounded by the Spiders. Gilliard will push. Nice feed. Golden the three. Rebounded by the Wolfpack.
And Richmond has had some open looks from three that they have missed.
Smith, runner in the lanes, up and in.
That's really a nice job by Smith to just be patient.
He was North Carolina's Mr. Basketball as well as the Gatorade Player of the Year this past high school season from Greenville, North Carolina, which is about an hour and a half east of Raleigh, where NC State is located.
Well, Smith was a prolific scorer in high school, and he's just one of those guys that he knows where the basket is. He's sort of wired to score. And he's also not somebody, he's very confident if he's like goes 2 for 12, he's going to take that 13th shot. Allen leaves the game, but Smith can shoot it from three, he can drive it, he can play in transition. We've seen the floater a couple of times.
Losing it out of bounds was Wilson. Smith has really been hot of late, 17 a game over his last three, almost 50% from beyond the arc.
And those last three were starts, and he started because Casey Morcell turned his ankle. And so Morcell is now coming off the bench because Smith, as you say, he's been fabulous.
He's won the ACC Freshman of the Week each of the last 2 weeks. He's off the mark this time, and it's rebounded by Golden. I think that was Sebron, who's been a little quiet so far after a quick start. Golden going to work on the block against Duana.
Boy, that's one you'd really like to have. Golden, nice moves, got Duana off balance, just can't finish.
Cam Hayes, number 3, has had the hot hand for NC State so far. There's a steal.
And guess who stole it?
It was Jacob Gilliard. He gets it to KO. Oh, rejected at the rim. He wanted to dunk it on Duana. It'll stay with Richmond. Ebenezer Duana is 3rd in the ACC in blocks, and he adds another return to sender on KO. Basketball doubleheader coming up tomorrow on ACC Network at 2 o'clock. Fairleigh Dickinson takes on Virginia. And then Duke, hoping that the third time is the charm as they take on Elon. That was supposed to be Cleveland State. Then it was Loyola Maryland. Now it's Elon. They're hoping they can play at 4 o'clock tomorrow at Cameron Indoor.
Well, we wish them the best.
Yes. Hopefully they will proceed to play that game. You see right there, Manny Bates. You mentioned him early on, Dan. He was the best interior defensive player in the ACC the last 2 years. He led the ACC in blocks the last 2 seasons. In the first game this year against Bucknell, he injured his shoulder in the very first minute of the game. He's out for the season. A huge loss for the Wolfpack.
Well, it is a huge loss for the Wolfpack, and he, as you say, he has been an outstanding defensive player, but he's really developed his offensive game. That's a double dribble or traveling violation.
They'll call it a travel with 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Bates was on track to be most likely the school's all-time leader in blocks, and he does still have eligibility left. He's a 4th-year junior. Already 4th all-time at NC State in block shots. Here's Sebron. He'll pull up for a long jumper.
And if you notice there on the screen, KO, who's guarding Sebron, went underneath the screen and gave Sebron a lot of room for that shot. He's more concerned about Sebron driving the ball to the basket. He doesn't want to get picked off by that screen. Great pass.
Backdoor cut for the score. Tyler Burton on the receiving end. He has 4 points.
If you're going to play the center or 5 position in this offense, you have to be able to pass. And obviously, not only Golden, but Grace are guys who can pass the ball.
Richmond with 22 of their 25 points in the paint as they've been getting to the rim Alley-oop. Burton in traffic, defended nicely by the Wolfpack.
Boy, they made that harder than it had to be.
Coast to coast, rejected, and then fumbled out of bounds. It'll stay with NC State.
And that's where Seabrook is so dangerous. You get him going like that in transition, you can't stop him. Now he missed the shot. But that's a situation. Richmond had a 2-on-1 and Wilson tried to do something spectacular. All he's got to do is a bounce pass for the layup.
Andre Gustafsson, a senior from Finland, has checked in for Richmond. It's only his second appearance of the season, as he had been out for the first part of the year with off-season hip surgery. This is his second game back.
They're just a little careless right there. Grace, a bad pass, and Gilliard simply can't recover it in time. He stepped out of bounds.
Chris Mooney, the second longest tenured head coach in the Atlantic 10, only behind Bob McKillop at Davidson, who applies his craft right up the road. 17 years for Chris Mooney, the former Princeton standout, has led the Spiders to 2 NCAA tournaments in 2010 and 2011, A-10 title in 2011. Although chances were good that they were going to make the tournament in 2020 when it was canceled. Ifs and buts.
And they've got a really good program. It's, as he told us, they just have to win some games.
Another nice backdoor look for another easy score.
There's no reason to try to be denying the ball to KO. He is not an outside jump shooter, and you just allow him to get the ball and go to the basket. That's what he does.
Already 10 for KO.
Ooh.
Second double-figure game of the season. Good resistance at the rim, and now the Spiders will run 3-on-2. Bounce pass left side. Gustafsson lays it up, missed the shot. KO's got it. 3 from the corner. Frantic sequence, and finally coming away with it is the Wolfpack.
They're 0 for 6 from out there now. But that's another point-blank range shot that they missed. It wasn't uncontested, but you really want your guys, particularly a guy the size of Gustafsson, excuse me. You really need to finish through the contact. He's 6'5", 205 pounds. You'd like him to be able to power that one up there.
Foul is called on Burton. It'll put Terquavion Smith at the line. 55% free throw shooter for the season. Golden back in for Richmond. Breon Pass, a freshman from Reidsville, North Carolina, checks into the game for the first time.
Boy, Smith sure didn't look like a 55% free throw shooter.
Very smooth there, 6 points for the freshman.
And you see the Wolfpack, they're not really trying to pressure the ball. I think they're just trying to run some time off the clock. It's hard to guard this style of offense for 30 seconds.
Nice give and go as Golden missed the bank shot.
Boy, he has missed a couple in there. It's, you know, normally a guy like that doesn't have a problem finishing, but he has missed a couple that normally he makes.
Richmond continues to get a lot of looks right around the rim. Steal. Coast to coast and a foul before the shot.
The foul occurred out beyond the three-point line.
Good foul there by Helms to prevent what would have been a layup, just the 4th foul against the Wolfpack.
You got to be careful if you're doing that you don't get called for a flagrant foul, the old intentional foul. And you're right, Helms as the veteran did a really nice job. However, Helms can't afford to be giving up fouls. He's been in foul trouble more than a couple of times this year. It's really important to have him on the floor.
Sherrod the 3, and Richmond their first 3-pointer of the game.
Well, it's just a matter of time, and Sherrod is a guy who can make a 3-point basket. He's come back from a couple of different knee injuries and a 6th-year guy.
And a Richmond native, played his high school ball at St. Christopher, about a mile from campus. Floater in the lane, comes up short, rebounded by the Spiders. Richmond led only briefly in this game as KO, awkward pass to Golden, he flips it in for the lead.
was an awkward pass, but a really good maneuver by KO to avoid the charge.
And the Spiders cheering section making themselves heard here as they have taken the lead. In the corner, past the three. Weak side rebound to NC State. Smith had it knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Wolfpack. Richmond had not made a three-pointer until Nick Sherrod knocked down the triple, their first of the game. And then the Spiders with another bucket close to the basket to take a one-point lead. Coming up on the State Farm Halftime Report, we'll take a look at some first half highlights from what's been a close game so far, as well as COVID rearing its ugly head again. A lot of impact across the country on Saturday's schedule. In college basketball, we're seeing it with the NFL. About 3 or 4 games got moved today to next Monday and Tuesday. But here, the fans enjoying themselves, and Richmond leads NC State 32-31. Robert Lee, Dan Bonner, our entire terrific ACC Network crew with you from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the Charlotte Hornets.
And NC State started out shooting the ball very well, but they have missed their last few shots. And Sebron, he's only 3 for 8. He's really having a hard time getting going. That's really good defense by Sherrod.
2 on the shot clock. They do get it away, but KO the rebound. Good defensive possession by Richmond.
Yeah, if you can get down to the end of the shot clock and have DeWanna shoot a jumper, you've done what you want to do.
Golden, a little bit short hop that pass.
Now, that was not a good pass.
Filling the lane and stolen away. Long touchdown pass ahead. Somehow got to the receiver and it's spiked. A wedgie. Will be a jump ball. The possession error will favor Richmond.
That was some pass by Gilliard, but that's DeWanna who gets down the court. What a great play by the big guy. He just doesn't give up on it, and a nice job down there by Breon Pass, who delayed Sherrod just long enough to give DeWanna time to get there.
With Bates out, DeWanna has stepped up as an interior presence. Last 5 games, 22 blocks, including 8 in a 4 overtime win over Nebraska. As Sebron goes out of the game and Morcell comes in. Golden.
You can see when he gets it out there, his first look is a pass, and that time he just shuffled his feet.
So often when you see a big man like that, people like to compare him to a Nikola Jokic from the Denver Nuggets. I think of a Cam Krutwig from Loyola Chicago last year, but really kind of redefining that position, those big guys who stand out there and orchestrate the offense. And another turnover, 2-on-1. They'll pull it back out.
Well, Golden almost walked again.
Taking it strong to the rim and scoring.
KO's got a height advantage in there. Morcell at 6'3", KO at 6'8". And he used his strength and his size. And again, he plays very well around the basket.
7-0 run for Richmond's biggest lead of the game. KO has 12 points, averages 7 a game. Flipping it up and in. Smith has 8 points.
I think that's the third one, that old floater in the lane. Oh, what a pass.
And the dunk. Who is it? It's KO again. 14 points.
Gilliard does a great job drawing the defense. He's got 4 guys around him, and all KO does is step into an open area.
High off the backboard, rebounded by NC State and flipping it in. DeWanna, first 2 of the game.
That was a tough shot by Pass, but what he did is he forced Golden to come over and help, and as a result, nobody was available to block out DeWanna, and all he did was go to the basket.
Entertaining first half here in Charlotte. Offensive foul. Going to be called on Gustafsson.
Now, Gustafsson doing a little bit too much dribbling there. When you're initiating the offense, when the Richmond Spiders, are initiating the offense, they don't want to do it with dribbling. They want to do it with passing. Chris Mooney, I think, is saying that there might have been a foul there.
Burton back in for Gustafsson. Morcell hangs in the air. And a foul on the rebound against NC State.
And gets Duana over the back of Golden. You know, we have been relatively foul-free in this game as well.
No timeouts to this point either by either team with roughly 40 seconds left. Full court pressure here.
I think that might be the biggest upset ever. You know, both coaches are not going to use that use it or lose it timeout.
Still 30 seconds left.
That never happens.
Deflected near midcourt. Still 12 on the shot clock. Nice skip pass for the open three. It's good.
So now you're going to get that use it or lose it timeout.
Isaiah Wilson's 5th three-pointer of the season. We will step aside for 30 seconds. Richmond is open, a 4-point lead. 15 seconds of the first half. I think when we were looking at the game this afternoon and leading up to it, I don't think we expected that Nathan Kao would be easily Richmond's leading scorer at this point.
Well, of course, his averages you can clearly see there as he's doubled that, and we're still in the first half. In fact, he is, in a game where there's been a lot of points actually, he is the only double-figure scorer in the game.
He has 14, Golden has 9.
Cam Hayes has 9 for North Carolina State. He made 3 threes early, but he's been very quiet offensively of late.
Richmond has done a nice job defensively since NC State got off to a quick start. 3 seconds left. Long three. Off the mark. That's the end of the first half. Good finish for Richmond. We'll send it to a break, and on the other side, we'll have the State Farm halftime report with Jordan Cornett, Luke Hancock, and Carlos Boozer. Good first half here in Charlotte. Richmond looking to win its 4th game in a row, leading NC State 39-35. You're watching the Basketball Hall of Fame Shootout presented by Hotels.com. Beautiful night here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's Richmond leading NC State at the half 39-35. Robert Lee and Dan Bonner back here at the Spectrum Center. Dan, kind of 2 halves for NC State. At the 13-minute mark, they had an 8-point lead. They had already scored 23 points. They only scored 12 points the rest of the half.
Well, they ran into a little bit of a shooting drought. They made 8 of their first 13. They only made 4 of their last 17. And so I think Richmond picked up the defense, but NC State, they weren't able to get Sebron going.
One player who did get going for Richmond was Nathan Kao, who somewhat unexpectedly is the leading scorer for Richmond so far.
Well, Kao is the guy who operates very effectively around the basket. We saw him driving the ball to the goal. We saw him playing on transition. We saw some great cuts by Kao on the inside and even post-up moves. So he made 7 of 9 field goals for the Wolfpack. They started, we mentioned very quickly, they knocked down their first 5 three-point baskets, and this is a team not noted for their ability to shoot the 3. They missed their last 3. Richmond missed their first 6 threes and made their last 2. So North Carolina State's got to get it going a little bit on the offensive end. They need to get out in transition, and Sebron needs to be more involved. He has been well defended so far, though, by the Richmond Spiders.
See Richmond shooting 55% from the field so far, thanks in large part to 30 points in the paint. They've been getting a lot of easy looks at the rim. Taking it to the rim is Sebron, and he will go to the line, where he averages about 7 free throw attempts a game.
Well, that's exactly what we were talking about. And Kevin Keats knows what he's doing. He's got to get his guy going at the basket.
What have you seen Richmond do defensively on him that's kept him relatively quiet so far?
Well, Richmond is doing a really nice job staying in front of him. And one of the ways they've been able to do it is they haven't turned the ball over and they haven't allowed him to get out in transition. But when he's coming off those screens, they're playing off of him, daring him to shoot the ball, and it's just hard for him to get to the basket. They're helping very, very well.
However, he misses 2 free throws. He is a 75% free throw shooter. Darian Sebron averages 20 points a game and 10.5 rebounds. Held to 7 points in that first half. Good passing, wide open, corner 3. He got it. Richmond opens up its biggest lead of the game. Isaiah Wilson with 6.
And Isaiah Wilson is not one of their better three-point shooters. He comes in with only 4 made threes, and he's already made 2 tonight.
Getting the roll was Cam Hayes. He's got 11 points. He's the first Wolfpack player into double figures.
Well, Hayes knocked down 3 threes early in the game and has been quiet since.
Hayes has 11, Smith with 8, Sebron has 7, Helms was 6. A little bit too much on that mustard pass, but it goes out of bounds.
The pass itself was a mistake. Golden needs to shoot that one. And Richmond does a really nice job getting it inside as the defense collapses. That is great vision by Nathan Ko. And that's the one thing, or one of the things, that this Richmond team does really well, and that's pass the ball.
Quick 3 is up and rebounded by the Wolfpack. NC State led for about 14 minutes in that first half. Richmond for about 5 minutes, but Richmond with the lead right now. Spiders looking to win their 4th in a row. Lunging into the defender and drawing the foul is Jericho Helms.
He saw that Burton was off balance and just went into him. He got a little pump fake. It's really hard when the guy's driving at you to not go for that pump fake, and Burton picks up the foul. He actually didn't play a lot of minutes, only played 10 minutes in the first half because he picked up an early foul. And this is their leading scorer. He only had 4 points in the first half, Burton that is.
He averages 18 a game, but it's guys like Ko with 14. Wilson has 6, which is well over his season average. Grant Golden had 9 in that first half.
And Helms is just such a smart, solid player.
Makes them both and has 8 points.
Now a little bit more pressure.
The teams were even in turnovers relatively in that first half. NC State was 6, Richmond had 7. Golden hangs and scores.
You just get that movement, and there's a lot of space on the inside because everybody's out on the perimeter.
11 for Golden. Good extra pass for the open 3. Smith was too strong with it, and it's rebounded by Burton.
It's really good defensive rotation.
Golden pump fake. A little bit short. And rebounded by Dewana. Hayes, quick jack. And he knocks it down. 4th three-pointer of the game. He has 14 points.
He's been really good with that 3 off the dribble. And again, he comes in shooting 23% from out there.
One of those shots early in the shot clock, if it doesn't go in, you're really thinking, well, we could have gotten a better look on that possession, but when it goes in, you're pretty happy about it. And a turnover, and a run out, and a travel in the open court would have been an easy basket for the Wolfpack.
Well, I really think that the Wolfpack philosophy on that is if you have a good shot, an open shot, it doesn't matter when in the shot clock it is, you take it. And they're very confident in the ability of Cam Hayes to shoot the ball. Again, he came in shooting only 9 for 39 from 3, but they're very confident that he can make a 3-point basket. All he needs to see is it go in, and he's seen it go in 4 times.
Sophomore from Greensboro. Here's Burton backing his way in, fadeaway jumper, goes in.
That's a tough shot. That was not bad defense by Sebron in that one-on-one situation. He did everything he could, prevented him from going to the basket, and then that fadeaway, that's really hard to guard.
Burton, the Atlantic 10's most improved player last year. Helms the three.
You know, that time I think Sebron gave that ball up a little too quickly. Of course, he's got a different view than we do sitting up here in the crowd, but I thought he had a lane to drive the ball to the basket.
He did take 8 shots in that first half, only made 3 of them.
And this is what we're talking about. See, nobody from North Carolina State goes to help. They're very concerned about the ability of the three-point shooters, and KO has been so good inside, you don't want to leave him.
The foul was on Smith, his first. And another foul.
That's great recognition. Cam Hayes, he's got a mismatch inside. Hayes at 6'3", and he's guarding KO, and KO has used that 6'8" frame of his very effectively.
Wide open in the corner, and the three is good. Matt Grace right in off the bench, and they forgot about him in the corner.
Well, maybe they thought he was still on the bench. You know, the guy comes in and just launches.
One of the 20 guys they've got sitting over there in a timeout, NC State. Kevin Keats needs to call a timeout. And Richmond has opened up a 7-point lead. Matt Grace, the senior from Hamilton, Ontario, leading this veteran Richmond team to a 7-point lead. After trailing by 8 early, Richmond has started to click on offense. Thanks to players like Nathan KO. They're starting to hit their threes, and they've opened up a 7-point lead on NC State here in Charlotte.
Well, we said the Spiders missed their first 6 from 3, but they've made 4 of their last 5. And I really think this is a situation where, coming off that screen, Darion Sebron really needs to take the ball into the lane, even at the risk of maybe getting a charging foul. He's just not been as aggressive as we've seen him earlier in the season.
Step back 3. Good fight on the glass, and it's brought down by KO.
Well, he just took it away from, I think that was Sebron in there, had his hands on the ball.
Gilliard skips it for a wide open 3 from the corner. It's good! Tyler Burton, and Richmond is hot. They're up 10. 8-0 run for the largest lead of the game. Burton up to 9 points. Helms trying to end that run, can't do so. And it's rebounded by the Spiders. Ooh, a little aggressive with that pass, and now a 2-on-0 run out. Sebron will dunk it.
Boy, that's the last thing that the Spiders wanted to do. We'll see if that gets the Wolfpack energized.
It certainly energized their fans here a little bit, and NC State, located in Raleigh, a couple hours from here. And their fans trying to motivate the Wolfpack here. Down by 8. All the way to the rim. Defended well.
That's good defense. KO sort of forced that one a little bit, and there Gilliard's going to pick up a foul.
Gilliard picks up his first. Richmond moments ago opened up a 10-point lead on a 3-pointer from Tyler Burton from the corner. But NC State strikes back with an uncontested dunk to pull within 8. ESPN Network men's basketball doubleheader. Fairleigh Dickinson against UVA, and then Elon and Duke.
Maybe.
Hopefully. 4 o'clock from Cameron Indoor. This game here in Atlantic 10 versus ACC matchup, really an invaluable opportunity, particularly for a team like Richmond. Let's face it, NC State's not going to go and play at Richmond. So this is a chance to meet on a neutral court. Richmond was actually a slight favorite in this game, and a chance for them to pick up a resume-building victory as NC State off the mark, and they follow it up, they'll go to the line.
And that's what we talked about with Sebron trying to get into the lane. And you can see what happens when he does. He got into the lane, drew the defense, and kicked it out to Morcell. And even though Morcell missed the shot, Sebron was right next to the basket. He's an outstanding offensive rebounder. And I think that foul was on Burton. And if it is, that's Burton's 3rd foul. No, it's on Wilson. Okay. They're confident that Morcell can hit that shot, but he missed it. And if he does, then that's okay because Sebron is inside.
And a good chance for Sebron to see the ball go through the hoop. Missed a couple of free throws earlier this half. Makes 2 here. Has 11 points. And he's a guy who can really heat up quick.
Oh, absolutely. Before we went to break, that foul by Gilliard was just Gilliard trying to stop it, and they know once he gets going in transition, he's impossible to stop. And Gilliard fouled him. That was Gilliard's first foul, so it was a giveaway foul, but it was a good one.
Connor Crabtree is checked in for Richmond. Nice move by Golden and a chance for 3.
Golden is so crafty down there. You know, he gets the ball, and if you're guarding him, he's looking, you think he's looking to pass the ball. But then when he puts it down, he turns. What a great job that time with the dribble and then the fake. You know, he uses his pivot foot really well down in there. He gets great position.
Does complete the 3-point play, has 14 points to tie for the team lead. Richmond in control here with 14 minutes to go. 9-point lead led by as much as 10. This is Jalen Gibson. Almost stolen and a foul. Crabtree in the wrong spot. Picks up his first. If you're NC State and you're Kevin Keats, you had a lead early. Now Richmond's offense really starting to click. They're making their threes. They're shooting about 70% this half. How do you try to slow it down and change the momentum?
Well, what do you do? I think you have to really attack them on the offensive end, maybe create some foul problems, but you just have to keep playing as hard as you can defensively and think that they're not going to continue to shoot the ball at 70%.
Left-handed layup is good for Cam Hayes, who leads the team with 16 points, matching a season high.
And a lot of times the best thing you can do is keep the pressure on your opponent by scoring. Now you got to pick it up on the defensive end, but you got to score.
Sherrod, but an offensive rebound out to Gilliard for 3. He got it.
The offensive rebound is not a big part of the Richmond arsenal. They only get about 19% of their misses, but boy, that really kills you when they get one and get a 3.
Gilliard has been quiet scoring, but he does have 5 points. Lob down low for the alley-oop jam. Dewana finishes, he has 4 points.
And Dewana's not a guy who's going to give you a lot of post moves and that kind of stuff down inside. But certainly if he can get position like that, he can catch that lob and knock it in. And Gilliard just hurt himself.
Not sure if he stepped on somebody's ankle, but he hobbles off the court immediately.
Boy, Burton just does a nice job running the middle. Everybody's standing watching. This is really a nice pass, and what Golden does is he steps toward the offensive player before he needed to, and that allowed Dewana to get open.
Gilliard, by the way, back at the scorer's table to check in.
He's not staying out of the
brief respite. Quick healer. Golden, nifty move.
That's a tough move over Dewana.
Sebron going downhill to the rim, lays it up and in.
And that's the best part of Sebron's game. If you take a tough shot and you miss it, then Sebron gets the rebound. I mean, good heavens, he doesn't have to have an outlet pass. He just goes, and when he gets up ahead of steam, you cannot stop that.
Sebron up to 13 points, the sophomore from Norfolk, Virginia.
So good defense turns into transition offense. That's the formula.
Open 3 from the top of the key is good. Tyler Burton has heated up. He's got 12.
That's really good movement by Burton without the ball. An outstanding pass by Wilson.
Sebron in the open court. He's up to 13 points and trying to pull NC State closer. But at the other end, Richmond has been hot from beyond the arc. Another 3 for Burton. Here's Sunday afternoon's women's college basketball doubleheader at 2 Eastern. Virginia Tech center Elizabeth Kitley leads the Hokies against Florida State in their balanced attack. Then Elisa Cunane and number 2 NC State hosts Virginia at Reynolds Coliseum. Both games are right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. One app, one tap. Richmond started the game 0 for 6 from three-point range. They've made 7 of their last 9 now to open up a 9-point lead with under 12 minutes to go.
Well, and conversely, North Carolina State made their first 5, and they've made only 1 of their last 7. But again, the Wolfpack is not a team that relies heavily on the 3.
Smith knocks it down.
And Smith is one of their better three-point shooters.
He's got 11 points, and he cuts the lead to 6. Gilliard is back in the game.
And he did a great job getting his feet set. That's what Sebron does. Sebron drives into the lane. Everybody collapses. So that's a really nice job. Sebron, one of the leaders in assists as well.
Good set out of the timeout by Kevin Keats. Led to an open corner 3. Coming up in 11 minutes to go.
And the key was they knocked it down.
Golden trying to answer.
Boy, that was a long 3.
That NBA line can be a little confusing.
Yeah, and he was a couple of steps beyond that line.
Sebron into the corner, another 3. Long rebound tracked down by NC State. And they'll reset. Sebron, the crossover. Back into the corner for Helms.
You see the kind of attention, the blue shirts all around him. He's done a nice job passing the ball.
Difficult shot for Helms, but he is fouled.
And that time it is Burton. And that is 3 now.
He is the first player in the game with 3 fouls.
And he got off to a slow start. He's the Spiders' leading scorer, but he's got 12 points now. He's been hot recently.
Helms, an 83% free throw shooter, missed the first. So Burton will go out with 3 fouls, and Nick Sherrod, 60-year grad student, will check in. Missed them both.
Oh boy.
Could have cut it to 4 there. A very good free throw shooter, Jericho Helms.
Right, just dig in. Again, defensively, you get stops on defense and get out in transition. That's your formula.
Dump it down to Golden. Almost a steal. That's out of bounds off of the Wolfpack.
Well, a break for Richmond right there. A bad pass by Golden, and then Wilson, he's trying to bounce it off the NC State defender. The ball nearly hit him.
Gilliard on the run. Offensive rebound, and it's knocked away. Here's Casey Morsell. 6-point game. Jumping into the lane, and foul. NC State, you sense that sort of attacking mentality starting to come back a bit here.
Well, coming into this game, NC State had made 51 more free throws than their opponents, and that's because they attacked the basket. And when they were struggling a bit, they were settling for some threes, and now they're back to attacking the basket again.
In fact, they've made more free throws than their opponents have attempted this season.
And they're telling Chris Mooney to get back in the coaching box, and he's pointing and saying, I am in the coaching box.
I will say in the last game, Virginia Tech's head coach Mike Young was sitting on a stool exactly where Chris Mooney is right now.
Well, and I think that's fine as long as you're not yelling at the referee. Right. When you're yelling at the referees, they tend to get a little irritated by that.
Mike Young did not have much to yell about. His team won by 37 points over St. Bonaventure.
No, he better not be yelling at anybody.
13 now for Smith. A 9-3 run has cut the lead to 4. Grant Golden, the big man, running the floor.
Well, an odd sort of a lineup in the game right at the moment for Richmond.
Almost a steal. Gustafson was a little careless with the ball there.
Well, you mentioned Gustafson. This is only, he hadn't played very much, only his second game of the year because he was recovering from hip surgery. And he can't be trying to dribble the ball against a guy like Sebron. Sebron just has too big an advantage of quickness over him. He needs to get rid of it.
Golden at the left elbow. Sherrod fadeaway jumper. And over the back on KO.
And now, again, Richmond has a team that's a little bit different offensively in the game. And that was a tough shot by Sherrod. And the foul's starting to pile up for the Spiders.
So actually send NC State to the line for 1-1.
So there's 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game, Robert. And so the Wolfpack are going to have some opportunities from the line. The key for them, though, is can they convert them?
3 fouls on KO.
Matt Grace returns for the Spiders.
Grace back in for KO.
So KO is out. Burton is out.
KO had 14 in the first half, has not scored in the second half.
Well, if he had the element of surprise, he lost.
Wasn't at the top of the scouting report at the start of the game. 15 now for Terquavian Smith, and it's a 2-point game with 9:20 remaining.
They've just picked up the defense and made life uncomfortable for the Spiders. You know, they're not getting those open shots.
9 on the shot clock. Backdoor cut. Tough shot, but a foul. They'll put Gustafson at the line.
Well, that is an excellent pass and a really good cut, but Gustafson, rather than taking the shot with his left hand, tried to turn back to his right hand, and that was a very difficult angle. Of course, he's going to get to the line for 2.
Hellam's the foul, his second.
Andre Gustafson at the line for the Spiders.
And he hasn't been to the line this year, which is not surprising, as you've mentioned. It's only his second game.
In fact, he scores his first point of the season there. Richmond was one of only 12 teams in the whole country that did not have anyone transfer out last offseason, which is part of the reason we've joked about. They have 20 players on the roster because of that extra COVID year.
No, that's not 20 players all on scholarship.
Right. And they can still only play 5 at a time. That's a key fact to mention. They don't get a power play. Laying it up and in. Smith has heated up. He's got 17 to lead the Wolfpack.
Boy, I just really like Smith's game. I mean, he's very selective in his shots, and he's not afraid.
Sherrod. Quick trigger there and rebounded by NC State. Coast to coast, Sebron is fouled.
That's the kind of shot that Nick Sherrod has to take, but if he misses and there's the long rebound, particularly if Sebron gets his hands on the ball, then this is exactly what North Carolina State wants to do. They also want to get this guy being aggressive, and Terquavion Smith has just been outstanding attacking the basket.
Taking an extra second to tie his shoe, and then help to his feet.
To catch his breath, too.
Darian Sebron had 39 points and 19 rebounds. Now, it was a 4-overtime game against Nebraska, but those are big numbers. He has scored in double figures in every game this season and has 6 double-doubles to lead the ACC.
You know, we've talked about how Sebron, that is, may have been struggling a little bit, but he's piling up the numbers.
Did a nice story about him. He grew up in a very rough part of Norfolk, Virginia. His mom had him when she was 15 years old, and when he was less than a year old, his dad was sentenced to prison for a 50-year sentence. But he's since rebuilt his relationship with his dad. They talk basketball now. His dad is still in prison, but he has really blossomed since arriving on the Raleigh campus of North Carolina State. He's a third-year sophomore. 14 points, pulls NC State within 1.
Well, where do you go for offense if you're Richmond?
What? Isaiah Wilson, tough finish.
That would not have been my first choice, but Wilson, what an aggressive move. I mean, there were 3 Wolfpack players there, including Dewana, who's a heck of a shot blocker.
Wilson averages 4 points a game. He has 8.
Now remember, Burton has those 3 fouls. And he's trying to guard Sebron.
Down to 7 on the shot clock, hanging in the air. Good save of the rebound. Back out top, a 3. And out of bounds to NC State. We've got a good one, 7.5 to go here at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. Richmond leads NC State by 3. Darion Sebron has started to assert himself, up to 14 points and 9 rebounds.
Well, we talked about the fact that he hasn't really been a big factor, but he has in this second half. He's done a great job rebounding the ball. He's really put pressure on the defense with his ability to attack the basket. And again, I mean, 14 points, 9 rebounds, most people would take that. You're just used to the fact that he's got 20 points and 10 rebounds practically every game. But he really plays hard. The NC State has the basketball out of bounds right now because he prevented Richmond from getting the defensive rebound just with his aggressiveness. And Smith here has been the other guy that's really helped get him going in this half.
Nice spin move, couldn't finish, but he is fouled. The Richmond defender did not like the call. He was on Isaiah Wilson, it's his second.
Well, again, he just really does a nice job getting his defender off balance and getting into the lane. And these will be free throws number 15 and 16 for the Wolfpack in the second half. Unfortunately, they've only made 9 of them.
And Terquavion Smith was 8 out of 8 before that miss. Now 9 out of 10 from the line for a team high and game high 18 points.
Well, you'll take 9 out of 10 from the line any night.
65-63, these two teams meeting for the first time in 7 years, 5th time overall. Backdoor look and a hammer.
What I'm telling you, you try to deny these guys out on the wing, they make you pay for it.
14 for Burton, those two the loudest. And it's a 4-point lead. Sebron a 3. And a foul on the loose ball, rebound against Dawana.
Gilliard just, you can see out there, that's Sebron. He gets himself sort of in between. He's thinking he's going to deny the play to the wing, but you don't need to deny Burton the ball that far from the basket. And Gilliard makes him pay for it. Great pass.
3rd foul on Dawana. What a great opportunity all these teams who've played here today have to pick up a signature non-conference victory. Going into the conference season in the next couple of weeks, both these teams in different conferences, a chance to pick up a nice win for that end of the season resume.
Well, and I think it's more important for North Carolina State because as you look at the ACC and where the teams stand in the net rankings and things like that, it's going to be hard to pick up quality wins in the ACC, particularly if this team starts beating up on one another.
The ACC has only one team in the top 25, Duke, as Terquavion Smith off the mark, rebounded by Richmond. NC State made its first 5 3-pointers, just 2 for its last 12. Richmond still up 4 with 6 minutes to go.
NC State has crawled back in the game by attacking the basket.
Burton, high arching 3. Long rebound to Helms, and a foul will put Helms at the line. KO his 4th. And this will be 2 shots coming up for NC State.
Well, and that's just one you don't want to commit. 75 feet from the basket. You like a guy who's hustling out there, but you also have to stay under control, and you have to understand that you're really important to this Richmond lineup. Your presence in the lineup. Boy, another missed free throw is much more important than the off chance that you're going to get that ball.
Helms has missed 3 in a row. He is an 83% free throw shooter. He's now 4 out of 7 for the game. Jericho Helms with 9 points.
keep in mind, KO has been a guy who's been doing some defensive work against Sebron, and so that means Burton, who also has 3 fouls, is now going to have to switch over.
Nice feed to Golden and either a foul or a goaltend. It is a goaltend.
I think it's both.
Whoa, could be a 3-point play.
Yes, it is a goaltend and it is a foul. Well, this is just, I mean, it's sort of in transition. They're not running the ball down the court hard, but they get that into their early offense, and Dewana, he just goes after that one a little bit too late. The ball had already hit the rim before he got it, but a great cut by Golden.
The foul on Helms, his third. Golden gets the roll. He's got 17 points. Richmond doubles the lead to 6 points, with 5.5 remaining. Spiders have won 3 straight. 6-4 on the season.
Got to be careful when Wilson are giving it around. They're looking to steal it.
Long jumper by Hayes, and then he commits a silly foul, and that'll put Richmond at the line.
Now, interestingly enough, the Spiders, they're a very good three-point shooting team, but they're not a very three-point shooting team, but they're not a very good free throw shooting team.
They're actually last in the Atlantic 10 as a team, 63%, very poor number. So be Sherrod, missed the front end of the 1-and-1. Sebron attacking the rim, high off the window and in.
Again, Burton's got those 3 fouls, so he wants to be aggressive, but he's also got to be careful.
Give and go, and a foul.
You know, if you turn your head to look at Golden when he catches the ball, and that's exactly what Sebron does. The ball goes to the guy in the high post. Sebron turns his head, and Burton just takes off.
Burton to the line for 2. We mentioned this experience from the Richmond team. They just look like a team that's used to playing with each other for the last 2 or 3 years. Know where everyone's going to be. They just run the offense when it's working. It really looks seamless out there. Although Burton missed the first free throw, a 79% free throw shooter. Makes 1 out of 2.
Well, it does, but when you got 6 guys who came back for the extra year, again, a veteran team. Coaches talk about wanting to get old and stay old. Well, they're pretty old.
And keeping your players on your roster. Sebron.
Oh, he jumped in from out of bounds.
Did not reestablish inbounds before he caught the deflection.
What a great job by Sebron, though, after he took that shot to get himself stopped and get himself in position to try to tip the ball in. He's got some remarkable skills.
I think our officiating crew of Jamie Lucky, Mike Roberts, and Tim Clockerty is going to go over to the monitor. About 4.5 minutes remaining.
I really don't know what they're looking at unless it's a shot clock thing. Whether they're thinking Richmond had possession and so the shot clock should reset to 20 for North Carolina State.
We mentioned Richmond comes in on a 3-game winning streak. NC State has lost 2 out of 3, including most recently against number 1 Purdue in Brooklyn on Sunday. NC State has started its conference schedule already. They're 0-1. They lost against Louisville. They have 1 more game against Wright State coming up on Tuesday back in Raleigh, and then they open the continue the ACC schedule at Miami on the 29th.
Right, so that's exactly what they were doing. They were trying to decide, did Richmond get possession? And since the Spiders did, although NC State kept the ball, the shot clock resets to 20.
Richmond has led the entire second half. Baseline jumper comes up short. Strong rebound by Tyler Burton.
And you can see how valuable Burton is to the Richmond team, both offensively and defensively, as we've seen trying to guard Sebron, but on the boards, he's a real force.
He's got that build and athleticism to go up against these more athletic NC State players. High skip pass, good job keeping it from going out of bounds. Golden spins baseline, he almost goes out of bounds. 3 to shoot. NC State's got it. 2-on-3. Attacking the rim, fumbling the ball. Carving out space and scoring. Sebron has 18.
And Burton was back, and he had to be careful. Almost wasn't careful enough. Good fake by Sebron.
3-point game, 3.5 minutes remaining. Media timeout coming up at the next dead ball. Attacking the rim, missed the shot, but going to the line.
Well, that was really close to a carry.
Isaiah Wilson will have 2 shots when we return. Richmond hanging on to a 3-point lead. Thousands have been affected by southern and Midwest tornadoes. If you would like to help, please visit redcross.org/ESPN to help the Red Cross respond and help people recover from this disaster. Those pictures from the Midwest and western parts of Kentucky, just
scary.
Really unbelievable. We are in Charlotte, North Carolina, along with our entire terrific ACC Network crew. Robert Lee and Dan Bonner with you. Final 3.5 minutes between Richmond and NC State. The opener today was Liberty over East Carolina by 10. Virginia Tech all over St. Bonaventure by 37 points. The nightcap after we're done here will be Wake Forest against Charlotte. Wake Forest is off to a great start, 10-1 this year.
Sure are. They're fun to watch, too.
Alondis Williams, the player to watch for the Demon Deacons, an Oklahoma transfer who's having a huge season. It's coming up 9 o'clock.
Wilson struggles from the free throw line, but he got that one to go.
1 out of 2, right at about his season average. He's got 9 points.
Now, Richmond has attempted 10 free throws. North Carolina State has attempted 26.
Almost a steal. Body's hitting the floor.
Yeah, that's dangerous by Burton.
Tough shot. Offensive rebound for the Wolfpack. Sebron attacks the rim and dunks it. 20 points for the 7th time this season, 5th time this season, and it's a 2-point game.
He is just relentless, and that's also his 10th rebound.
Another double-double, that's his 7th. Good defense on the interior, still 10 on the shot clock. Golden down the lane, off glass and in. 19 for Grant Golden.
That's a big, big play.
Do you keep giving it back to Sebron here?
Absolutely.
He'll get downhill and lay it up, but he drew the foul.
And that's why you keep giving it to him. That time, and again, Burton has those 3 fouls, and he's got to be a little bit careful. And
3 fouls on Golden.
Well, Sebron just put his head down, and throughout most of the game, the Richmond defense has been able to adjust. The guy, in this case, Burton, who's guarding Sebron, able to get through the screen. Not so that time. Golden just couldn't keep up.
Sebron 3 out of 6 from the free throw line tonight. NC State is leaving a lot of points at the free throw line.
And Sebron, as you've mentioned a couple times, he's a 75% free throw shooter.
Now 3 out of 7. 3 out of 8, huge misses.
And particularly from the free throw line, a guy who's a good shooter from the line as Sebron is, that just gets into your head.
So an empty possession for the Wolfpack. Backing in, blocked. Stays with Richmond, still 7 on the shot clock. Golden a 3! And rebounded by Sebron.
Again, that's another really long 3. I think that he's shooting it from beyond the NBA line. You don't need to do that.
Step back 3, Cam Hayes. Rebounded by Tawana, and he's fouled.
In the scramble situation, off the long miss, North Carolina State is able to get out in transition. And Wilson found himself standing next to Dewana.
Dewana has not gone to the line much this year. He's 9 out of 15, 60%. Oh, almost got an incredible roll off the top of the backboard there. Did not get it, however. NC State struggling from the line.
Now Wilson was giving up a foot down there. He couldn't do anything else but fouling.
However, he saved at least 1 point with that foul, and instead of allowing the dunk, and he could possibly save 2 points.
Gonna block out Sebron though.
1 out of 2 for Dewana. He's got 5. 1 possession game with 1:40 remaining. If you're Richmond, what do you like here?
Well, I like the ball in Golden's hand at the top of the key. Oh, of course you get this.
Beautiful cut to the rim, and North Carolina State fell asleep on defense.
Well, again, you're turning around and you're looking at KO, and Gilliard makes you pay for it. You get that ball to one of those inside guys and play off of them.
Three-pointer.
Again, a long three.
Helms hit the bottom of the rim, but he was fouled.
This is a situation where at the top of the key, that was Cam Hayes, just lost him.
So KO fouls out of the game. Had 14 points in the first half, double his season average.
Boy, Richmond just makes you pay for your defensive mistakes.
So KO, a 5th-year graduate student, checks out for a 6th-year graduate student, Nick Sherrod. Big effort from KO tonight.
Well, KO, not only does he have those 14 points that you talked about, but he's had 4 rebounds and 3 assists, including that last one.
Much needed free throw for Jericole Helms. Two for 2. He's got 11 points and a timeout. We will step aside for 30 seconds. Richmond with the ball and a 3-point lead. Six remaining. Let's reset. Both teams in the double bonus. NC State 1 timeout left. Richmond 2 timeouts remaining. The possession arrow favors Richmond and head coach Chris Mooney.
The dynamic a little bit different for Richmond with KO out of the game and Sherrod in. Sherrod is an outside guy, a 3-point shooter, even though he's only 1 for 4 today. KO has done such great work on the inside, both defensively and offensively, particularly in the first half. Now the Wolfpack with pressure.
Trying to set up a trap possibly with 1 minute remaining. And a foul. Did not take a lot of time off the clock, but it will put Richmond at the line for 2 free throws.
Boy, that's really some confident play by Gilliard to try to split that double team.
5'9", 160-pound player. It's part of what makes him so good defensively. He's like a mosquito. The all-time leader in steals in NCAA Division I, knocks down the free throw. He's 75% free throw shooter. Matt Grace back in, replacing Sherrod.
So Gilliard, he's got 10 assists today.
And 9 points.
So now at the pack, you got to go, and I think the ball needs to go to Smith or to Sebron.
Sebron is fouled.
Well, you just talked about Gilliard being the all-time steals leader, and he was tracking that one from the time they were bringing the ball up the court. He knows where they're going with it. He was just a little late.
If he gets that cleanly and takes it in, that could be the ball game.
Yes, absolutely.
Instead, he'll put Sebron at the line. Who's got another double-double, 20 points, 12 rebounds. But struggling from the free throw line.
back for Richmond.
3 out of 9. He's missed 3 in a row since the last media timeout. .21 points for Darion Sebron. Cuts it to a 4-point game. Do you play this straight up, or do you foul?
Well, I don't think you foul right away, but I do think the foul should come into it because remember, this is not a good free throw shooting team. You know, particularly if Wilson handles the ball, maybe I'd foul him right away.
They get it in for Golden. Try to trap in the backcourt. Gilliard just made 2 a moment ago. Sherrod is a pretty good free throw shooter. Golden is only 50%. Grant Golden's a 50% free throw shooter. Now a lot of time coming off the clock and a foul. Kevin Keats is furious.
And he went over that. He went over all of that with his guys. You know, you get Wilson, you get Golden.
Cam Hayes has fouled out of the game with 16 points.
Now Burton is only 1 for 2 from the line tonight, but he comes in as a 79% free throw shooter.
The best on the team.
And Chris Mooney doing some offense-defense substitution. He gets Grace back in with the Spiders going back over to defense.
Did not get the roll. So Cam Hayes, North Carolina State's point guard, out of the game now with 5 fouls. KO out for Richmond. One out of 2 for Burton, has 16 points.
Well, you got to get down and score quickly, and I think it has to be going to the basket. You don't want to settle for threes.
3 from the corner. Somehow NC State comes up with a rebound and is blocked. Huge defensive play and a foul.
Boy, that was some scramble in there. Dewana got his hands on the ball, tipped it to Sebron. I didn't see who blocked the shot, but it was somebody behind Sebron. Sebron gets the ball.
I think it was Matt Grace.
Matt Grace, well, he's in there for defense. And that's pretty good defense. A really good job to go straight up in the air and not commit the foul.
A senior, 6'9", comes up with a huge defensive play as Gilliard into double figures and now has an unconventional double-double, points and assists. It's the 4th double-double of his career. Now a 3-possession game with 23 seconds left. Wolfpack desperate. Morcell, the corner 3. An air ball long, and that should just about do it, as North Carolina State will foul with 10 seconds to go.
Well, down by 7 with so little time left in the game, you really are reduced to trying to knock down a 3. And that was a good job to get the ball inside, draw the defense, and kick it out. And Morcell, pretty good 3-point shooter, or at least he has been so far this year. He just wasn't able to get it to go. This is a very impressive performance by this Richmond team.
They've got home games coming up against Old Dominion and Bucknell. They'll be favored in those games. They open A-10 play against St. Joe's. This victory could really boost them a long way come March.
It's an impressive win against an ACC team on a neutral court. But the A-10 is going to be no picnic. But having a veteran group as Richmond has, and particularly guys who can make shots from a variety of different positions on the court.
Final seconds coming off the clock here. Off balance 3, and Richmond controls the second half and wins it 83-74. Impressive victory for the Spiders, their 4th in a row.
Really impressive victory. I thought they did a good job handling foul problems. They made shots when they had to make them. And they didn't get discouraged when North Carolina State made their first 5 threes of the game and the Spiders missed their first 6. This is just a good team effort by the Spiders.
Richmond improves to 7-4. NC State falls to 7-4. Richmond wins it 83-74. We've got another game coming up In about 25 minutes, it's Wake Forest and Charlotte. Dan and I will have that action. In the meantime, we're going to send it back to the studio and send it to the pride of St. Xavier High School, a fellow Cincinnatian and Bengal fan, Jordan Cornette. Take it away.